Hi, I'm Tom, and this is the first in a series of 7 short presentations I've built for founders who feel like their business should be growing faster than it is. Each one covers a different stage, what I call a plateau, a point where growth stalls, where the old approaches stop working, and where most founders don't realize they need to do something fundamentally different. Today we're starting at the beginning, Plateau 1, the starting line. Now, if you're watching this and you're already running a business doing a few million in revenue, you might be tempted to skip this one, but don't. Because understanding where you came from helps you understand why you're actually stuck. And a lot of founders at Plateaus 3 and 4 are still making Plateau 1 mistakes without realizing it. There are 7 distinct growth stages every founder-led business passes through. Most don't know which one they're at, and that's where the trouble starts. This series maps all 7, so what they look like, what they feel like, and what it takes to break through. It's important that a founder takes the time to recognize at which plateau they currently sit. To break through a plateau, the founder must put in place the right frameworks. I've built a free online assessment diagnostic tool which you can take at any time to help you measure which plateau you're at. The link is in the video description. So Plateau 1, what does it look like? You're proving the concept. Revenue is irregular. You're doing everything yourself. That's the sales, the delivery, the invoicing, and probably the IT support when the laptop breaks. Every client feels like a small miracle, and you're still learning genuinely what people actually want from you. And if that's you right now, welcome. You're in exactly the right place. So here's the honest truth about Plateau 1, and I want to say this without judgment. At this stage, you don't have a business yet. You have a hypothesis that people will pay you more than once for something you can reliably deliver. That's not a criticism. Every business starts here. I started here, and the companies I've worked with all started here. The difference between those who break through and those who stay stuck is whether they treat Plateau 1 as a learning phase or a permanent state. I want to share something that shaped everything I've built since, because it's a perfect Plateau 1 story. So my father started RWA a few years before I joined. It was a small compliance consultancy helping insurance brokers navigate FSA regulations. A handful of associates, less than 400,000 in turnover, proving whether their model worked. Classic Plateau 1. And he called me one day. He'd spotted an opportunity, moving insurance broker training online. At the time, professional development in that sector was almost entirely classroom-based. Expensive, inconvenient, limited in reach. I think there's something there, he said, but I need someone who understands digital. Now, here's what I want you to notice about that moment. He wasn't sure. He had a hypothesis. He didn't have a product. He didn't have clients for this new thing. He had a problem worth solving and the courage to go looking for someone to help him solve it. That's Plateau 1. Not weakness, not failure. The willingness to pursue something before you can be certain it works. The e-learning platform we built from that conversation eventually became a market-leading product used across the UK financial services sector. But it started exactly where your business started, with a question, not an answer. Let me give you some is this me moments, because I find that frameworks click when they recognize something real. So do any of these sound familiar? I'm not sure if what I charge is right. Maybe you've raised your prices a couple of times and it's felt uncomfortable, or you've lost a client and wondered if you were too expensive. Every month feels like starting from scratch. No pipeline, no predictability, just hunting again from zero. I'm doing everything. Sales, delivery, admin, accounts, you're the whole team, even if you have people around you. I don't really have a process. I figure it out each time. So every project is bespoke. Every client is different. You're reinventing the wheel with every engagement. I've had a few great clients, but I can't make it consistent. You know it works sometimes. You just can't make it work reliably. Now, if you nodded at any of those, you're at Plateau 1, and that's fine. The question is, how do you break through? So here's the trap that keeps founders at Plateau 1 longer than they should be. They chase every opportunity, so any revenue feels good when cash is tight. So they say yes to everything. The problem is that saying yes to everything means you never find out what you're actually best at. You underprice to win business, and that creates a client base that expects low prices, and it makes it very hard to ever charge what your work is actually worth. You build before you validate. The website, branding, systems, processes, all built before you've confirmed that anyone actually wants what you're selling. And you wait for perfection. So I'll go to market when the product is ready. Well, the product's never ready until you take it to market. And then you confuse activity with progress. So lots of meetings, lots of conversations, lots of planning, but not enough actual selling. So what does it take to break through? 4 things. First, product market fit validation. Not theoretical, real. Do real people pay real money more than once for what you do? Not because they like you personally, but because they value the outcome. Second, initial clients will tell others. Not just happy clients, but genuinely enthusiastic ones. kind who bring you up in conversations without being asked. Third, enough cash runway to survive the learning phase, and this is underestimated. The learning takes longer than you think, and you need to stay solvent long enough to find what actually works. And fourth, the willingness to fail fast and iterate. What you start with is almost never what succeeds. The businesses I've watched break through are the ones who treated their first version as a starting point, not as a destination. You know you've broken through Plateau 1 when four things are true. 1, you have repeatable client success. Same type of client, same type of outcome. You can point to it and say, that's what we do and it works. 2, revenue is predictable. Not necessarily high, but you can make a reasonable forecast and hit it reasonably often. 3, you know what you're selling and who you're selling it to. So you've begun to define your ideal customer profile and buyer personas. 4, you can articulate your value clearly and simply. If someone asks what you do and you stumble, you're still at Plateau 1. When the answer is clean and confident, you're ready for what comes next. One practical thing before you move on. Answer this question honestly. Have you had 3 or more clients who got the same outcome from the same type of work and would pay again? If yes, you may already be at Plateau 2, so watch the next video. If no, that's your only job right now. Stop building, stop branding, stop planning. Start validating. Get in front of the people who might pay you and find out if they will. In the next presentation, we're covering Plateau 2 early traction, the point where things start working, and the trap that most founders don't see until it's already caught them. My name's Tom. You can find me at addoli.com or connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you want to know exactly which plateau your business is at right now, there's a free assessment tool on my website. I'll see you in the next video. And finally, if you have any questions, then get in touch or leave a comment. Subscribe to this channel to watch the rest of the series and to be the first to know when new videos are launched by me.